Morning, America. Morning, world, Earth, Milky Way, our galaxy, many other galaxies out there watching this right now. Whoever the fuck is out there in Never Land. You can hear me and see me. Greetings. I come in peace. My name is KDB, Kyle Douglas Bauermeister, KDB for short. First time doing this, so it's going to be weird. It's going to be rocky. I just tired of working. Want to make money just being myself, telling people what I want to tell people and what I think, what I know, what I think I know, what I want to know, where I want to go, who I want to be, who I want to see, when I want to see him, and how I want to see him. Um, so it starts with a YouTube studio, YouTube webcam. And then I'd like to get my own YouTube channel at some point. Millions of sponsors, but mainly it's not so much about the money as it is about just enjoying my life. If I can just make enough money to get by and do this every day, I'll be happy. I'll be happy as a clam. Of course, I'd like a big house and a big family and six cars, and I mean not six cars, but a couple nice brand new cars, and all that glamorous stuff we have out there available to us nowadays in America. Things just keep getting easier, and the world out there is getting harder at the same time. So it's just one of those weird things that are just kind of meeting in the middle right now with all the viruses and diseases and natural disasters and heat waves this time of year. It's July 7th right now, 2020. I mean, people talk about revelations and end of days, end of time, Jesus Christ coming back to save us, or just coming back to hang out for a while and check out this world that we're in right now. And if it's anything close to what he had in mind when God, his dad, him and his dad created, when they created humans and Earth and just living things. But I just yeah, I like sports. I want this to be more of a sports show. Um, I guess first sports and entertainment first, and then maybe like comedy, music, news, secondary, and I just I'm ready for a new chapter in my life. But I'm home right now. I'm sitting in my apartment, in the bedroom of my apartment in Seattle, Washington, Lake City town in Seattle, smaller town in Seattle. I got to work in, let's see, I got to be there at 2:30 today. I got to be low. I usually work 3 to 10, only 7-hour shifts. Somewhat quick 7-hour shift. Goes by pretty fast because it's I work at a convenience store, and the first 4 hours of the shift is can be pretty nonstop, busy. So it goes by in a breeze. And next thing you know, it's Friday and I got weekends off, and then bam, feels like an hour of the weekend and it's Monday morning again, which, a lot of us out there feel like. We all want vacations, we all want time off, we all want downtime, we all want, I mean, not we all, but most of us all, a lot of us, there are, of course, some crazy hardworking 7 days a week, just want to work people out there. Whether they were bred and raised that way, born and raised that way, or bred that way, or they're just very, grown to be very ambitious people, and that's just their life and what they want to do in their life, But I would say for the 80% of us out there, we want to chill, we want to kick it, we want to fucking just have a good time, and not have crazy responsibilities on this day-to-day basis, or even a minute or hour-to-hour basis, Just want to let free, and just relax, not worry about it. But I like to sing. I mentioned music earlier. I always wanted to be a lead man, rhythm guitarist slash singer. I didn't end up pursuing it, and didn't end up putting much time and effort and thought into it like I kind of claimed I kind of claimed I was gonna. Come to think of it, I haven't really ever gone hard on anything I've done in my life. I just kind of gone through the motions for the most part, do what I need to do, and then I chill. A lot of chilling, too much chilling, and that's my problem. And that's where I'm here, and I'm willing to work. I will work here on YouTube. I will work my ass off here on YouTube. Webcam after live video, after going live, after text, after endorsements, after advertisement, after responding to messages and questions, all that, doing my homework, keeping up with the current events and the news and especially the sporting news. Patrick Mahomes just signed the biggest contract in sports history, all of sports history, not just football history. $503 million contract with the Kansas City Chiefs for 10 years. It's an extension, so it starts in 2 years from now. So they got him locked in for 12 years. And 12 years is a long time for a football player to be on a contract. I'm just a little surprised there about the length of time. I mean, maybe I could see maybe 6 or 7 years, even if it's the best player in the league that's young and just getting into their prime. Because I'd say quarterbacks hit their prime closer to late 20s, early 30s, actually. So he's still years away from his prime, actually, which can be a little scary when you think about it. Assuming, that no major injuries happen from now until then, because it only takes one big hit, one big injury, and you can never be the same again, possibly, no matter how much they protect the quarterback. If it's something personal on your body, that is compromised, that's all it takes, So it's a little risky. I say it's more risky for the Chiefs than it is for him, actually. Because with all the money guaranteed, obviously the market's going to go up. Well, not obviously. They all assume the market is going to continue to go up. Some new contracts with whatever commercials, TV, and yada yada in 2025 or something like that. Shannon Sharp said on Undisputed, but we don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen. We've just assumed every year, every season, every fall there's going to be professional football from September through January, and the first weekend of February, first Sunday of February being the big bowl, Super Bowl. But nothing's guaranteed now. Nothing is guaranteed. Life is a gift. It's not a right. Just like driving a car, you're always told as a kid, driving is a privilege, not a right. Just wake up one day and I have the right to drive, whether you like it or not. I don't need no piece of paper saying I can do this. Just get behind the wheel, hit a fucking button on the bottom on my feet. Basically, it's just a little button, one on the left, one on the right. You just tap it, and then you got the wheel. You go this way, you go that way. You go this way, you go that way. You want to simplify everything down like that, we can. But I don't know what I'm getting at. But the point is that we're not guaranteed tomorrow. We're not promised tomorrow. We're not promised next month. We're not promised next year. So to sign a con to give a contract, on the team side, to bring a contract to Patrick, stating 10 years, 10-year contract. It doesn't even start for another 2 years. I mean, it's just baffles my mind when you look on the news today and you just see everything going on out there in this world that we're living in right now. The COVID-19, I mean, we could have a COVID 2025 that's 10 times worse, and no sports, nothing like that will even think about playing if something like that happens. Think about it, if there's some other weird, pandemic, pandemic on steroids, let's say, that is literally 10 times worse than the one that we're dealing with right now. 10 times worse. If you think about all the numbers that they're saying, the things that I've read, doctors and all the experts are saying whatever numbers that you see, most likely times that by 8 to 10 times, and that's the real number of cases. And I don't know about deaths, but cases and just people that have it, basically. That's the true number, because the number of population that we have is inaccurate. There's so many people off the grid that that we don't even know about. I mean, there's people, they might have had birth certificates at one point, but they could have kids out there, just by themselves, out in the mountains, deep in the middle of nowhere. Nobody to clarify it and talk about it, so nobody knows the exact amount of people that live on this planet. It's not possible. There's no possible way of figuring that out. People dying every second and people being born every second. You can't. It's not feasible. And what I'm getting at, by saying that is, the numbers that we're seeing and hearing, rising, and the big numbers and breaking records, the experts, and it kind of makes sense, are saying whatever that is, times it by maybe up to 10 times that. So if we times that by 10, we had 1,000 new cases yesterday, and whatever part of the country, that's 10,000 cases in reality. Because so many people don't have symptoms, and they pass it on. People aren't wearing masks and wearing protective gear and gloves and washing their hands constantly and continually touching their face like it's no big deal. But and what if, my point for all this is, what if 2025 we have a pandemic on steroids that's 10 times worse than the one we're hearing about now? And if it's already 10 times worse than it really is, that's 100 times worse. That's 10 times 10. That'd be 100 times worse than the one that's going on right now. And if that happened, there's, sports would be an afterthought. Be like, man, we might never have sports again. That's why that's the main reason why I'm surprised about something, a 10-year contract that doesn't even start for 2 years. 12 years down the road from now. I mean, we don't need to be thinking about 12 years from now with everything going on with the BLM, Black Lives Matter movement going on, the police brutality, and Kaepernick claimed to make a kneel for, not a stand for. He made a kneel for instead of standing for it, because it's negative, and there's nothing to stand tall about with in regards to anything about police being racist and going out of their way to get away with killing black people and black criminals. I mean maybe the majority of the ones that got shot had a criminal record. Doesn't completely make them a criminal personality overall, and deep inside. We're all humans. We all make mistakes. We've all made bad choices. We've all been influenced by other humans that have made bad choices. So it's just a never-ending, just continuous cycle of just people just rubbing off against each other, rubbing off on one another, and it's crazy. It's crazy. It's too bad when you think about it. I just I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. I love all people. I love human beings more than anything in this world. I just want to be accepted by everybody. That's just always how I've been. I actually, when I was like in third grade, I actually wanted to be black. I can't remember like the thought process behind it and exactly why, but I just remember like the Black Power Ranger and who else? The Black Power Ranger and a couple other black TV stars were the cool ones. You know, they were the cool ones on the show. You know, so I wanted to be cool. So I thought, I mean, I guess if you're black, you're funny and you're cool. You know, that was my thought back when I was a little kid for a time. You know, maybe a year or two, and and that was it. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, I'm sure there have been millions of black people at one point in their life that wanted to be white. So on the flip side, it's not even close to how many white people want to be black to how many black people want to be white. A lot of white people just act black, and dress and think and try to think black, but deep down inside they don't want to be black. And we can see why now. Now we can start to see that firsthand. Because they're just not treated fair. They're just not treated as fairly as us. Nobody is 100% treated fair. We're human beings. Life's not perfect. Life will never be perfect, and that's why life is not fair. It can't be fair. It can't be. It can't be black and white, and it can't be fair. There's just too many people for it to be fair. There's too many people for you to get away with this, and you to do the same thing, and you go to prison now. Unfortunately, that just happens, and it's going to continue to happen. There's money and power and greed and wealth is all that seems to matter in this country. And if you don't got it, they don't. They don't. The higher ups don't care. Don't care about you. You're just a little bug. Go to work. Go back. We could do some legal slavery on your ass. But other than that, I don't want nothing to do with you. You can clean up my toilet for me, but after that, I don't need you. I don't want you. Goodbye. You don't got no money. You ain't paying a shitload of taxes. And what are you doing? And what are you helping? That's another topic for another day. But this is day one of my somewhat short videos. I'm trying to keep it under half an hour. I'm almost at 18 minutes here. I can do a video every day for 1,000 days. That's my goal. I want to do 1,000 videos, and if I don't, I guess, go viral or somewhat viral by the 1,000th video, then this isn't for me. 1,000 days, 999 more days from now. It's a long time. It's almost 3 years from now, but I'm 34 now. I'll be 35 in January, so we're talking I'll be 37 years old at that time. And that's why I think that's my window. I mean, if you haven't figured it out by the time you're 40, in terms of a kind of a career, most likely ain't gonna happen. You never know. People hit the lotto and stuff like that, of course. But it's you're better off spending your money wisely and not just donating it to your state, flushing it down the toilet that way. But I want to get some feedback. What do you guys want me to talk about? I live in Seattle, Washington. I'm born and raised in Washington, suburbs of Seattle. I was born in Everett, north of Seattle. Lived here most of my life, at least 90% of my life, I guess. Maybe not 90, close to 90. I lived in Hawaii for 3 years altogether, 2.5 years as a kid, and then a little over 2.5 years as a kid, and then about 3 months as an adult, about 7 years ago. And yeah, I've had a crazy rough go as a recent adult. More so in the last, I don't know, 6 years or so. Yeah, since 2014. 13, 14, somewhere in there. It's because of bad decisions and continued opiate use, which turned eventually, before that was pills and all that, methadone pills, Suboxone, which turned into heroin eventually, and actually got on methadone permanently and was able to get stable and started getting my life together. And actually have a full-time job and keep a full-time job, and I want to say pay some old bills, old debts off, but that just hasn't happened yet, and I feel like I'm running out of time, making minimum wage, working at 7-Eleven in Shoreline, Washington, close to Seattle. But since it's not Seattle, it's, I'd be getting 16 if it was 16 an hour if I was in Seattle, which to some people out there actually, for a convenience store entry level job, 16 an hour sounds decent, but over here in Seattle, 16 an hour, really ain't much. The housing and everything has just gone way up over the last 7-8 years, to the point that I mean, unless you're working 60 hours a week, you know you got to have a roommate. Even at 16 an hour, you got to be working more than 40 hours a week to be able to pay your bills and be somewhat comfortable, or have a second job. So that's where that would tie in, I guess. Either first job that has more than 40 hours available, and hopefully pays time and a half like they should, if it's legal on the books, or you have a second separate job somewhere else, or you have a roommate and you guys split everything. So I've had the same girlfriend for almost 9 years now. Girlfriend, or I mean, I love her and we've been together for a long time, but I don't know. The older I get, the harder it gets to move on, because I don't know. I don't agree with a lot of things that her way of thinking, and things that she says and does, and just behaviors that she displays. I don't agree with it. And it's not me. It's just surprising that, if you met me, it's just surprising that someone like me, so, I don't know, just so non-confrontational and reserved, and doesn't want to hurt anybody. I always said I'm a peacemaker, growing up, and, someone like that to be with someone that's so, headstrong and, I don't know if I want to say confident, but someone that's just so stuck in her ways. And, I don't know, I'm definitely a lot more open, a lot more easygoing, and she's not at all. So they say opposites attract. So, we're very opposite in some points in our life, and we're very similar in other things. But for the most part, it's just, the sexual attraction hasn't been there really at all for years, and the opiates doesn't help with that whatsoever. They make it worse. I just don't know what to do. So I don't want to feel stuck forever. I don't want to. I want to. I don't know. You know, I always thought I'd have a couple kids, and a family, and some kind of career. Definitely by now. I said I'd be retired by the time I was 35 at the latest. I'm right now. I'm far from a career, unless YouTube. My people out there, I love you guys. Unless you guys pull through for me, make me rich. Make me rich. I love you forever. I'll marry every one of you fuckers. No. But that was a good show. Not much about sports, but Patrick Mahomes signed some big ass contract. Trump talks shit to Bubba Wallace, I guess. And he tweeted something about the numbers being all down. They got rid of the flag, the news thing, and all the, their numbers are down. And, I don't know how it was. I didn't see how he was talking shit to Bubba Wallace, but I mean, it wasn't anything nice, I don't know if he was blaming Bubba Wallace basically for their ratings going down. I don't know, but either way, I just Royal Rumble 2017 is on tonight. Oh shit, I can't wait. But yeah, they're showing all this old, wrestling. No live sports yet in America. No, big live sports other than auto racing, and golf and a few other things. Excuse me. But baseball supposedly starts July 25th. That's opening day this year. We'll see, because I'm seeing a lot of things that about players having to cancel, or teams having to cancel, practices and get-togethers because of the virus. So I don't know how anyone's going to be ready by the 25th. We'll see. It might be a little rocky. Start to the season. I could see it being a lot of low-scoring games. I could see pitching flourishing in the beginning, and then I could see it as time goes on. Assuming they get through the 60-game season, but by the end of the season, there's going to be home runs hit all over the place, and it could be a fun, high-scoring playoff, and we'll see. But then we got basketball 5 days later on July 30th, first day of NBA, which is in a bubble in Orlando, Florida. They're in some 40-mile bubble, I guess. Well, a bubble that they can't get out of. There's not really a bubble, above them or anything like that. Like under the dome, show from back in the day. But I guess it makes sense. I mean, I think that's the best way to do something like that. Just make it. You can't leave. 40 miles is pretty big. I think it needs to be even smaller than that, more condensed. Just put them on. Even an island. I don't know. I'd say put them on some kind of island that's secluded from the general public. And you still need to wear masks and sanitize and all that. Like normal. Whether there's been a case there on that island or not. Just play it safe. Obviously, you can't do that during the games. You're not gonna be wearing a mask during the games, but during the team meetings, and when you're walking through the hotel, or I don't know. So I think something like that might have to happen for sports to continue in the future. And it's obviously only going to be the richest of the rich that be able to go to see them in person. And everyone else, like me and you, be watching it on TV, streaming it here, maybe YouTube. I don't know. We'll see, But I could see that happening in the future. Just have a sports island. Specific island where they have all three sports played. They have to set it up with games and times to where they don't overlap each other, which can make another 2-star athlete, 2-sport athlete. Yeah, Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson coming back. Somebody, I don't know who. Patrick Mahomes, maybe play football and baseball. Get another big contract. To equal $1 billion, put 2 bold contracts together, you'd be a billionaire. So that'd be cool. But we'll see what happens. But that's my stream for now. And I'll be back tomorrow with some real material and some real things to talk about. Maybe a guest star. I don't know yet. But enjoy it, guys. Be good to yourself.